We haven't even started. We
I know
haven't even started.
every time we're like, every time I love it.
Welcome to the Hold My Beard Marketing Podcast, your favorite podcast with two guys with beards talking about marketing. That's what we do. I'm Jake the Wizard. I got Mitch Barham. What's up, Mitch?
Just, keep it on, holding my beard, making you laugh before we start. So we have a weird intro every time.
Oh my gosh. One of these days we'll have to standardize something. I don't know. But until
Where's
then,
the fun in that?
you can't put baby in a box, right?
No, nobody, and you can't put her in a corner, and it keeps it interesting. People want to hear, like, what are they going to say this time at the beginning? Like, you just never know.
Well, I can tell you one thing, it's never going to be useful. So
True.
let's jump into some of the news of the week. I got some cool stuff here to talk about. Let's do it. Let me share this old screeny screen. Ba-boom. All right. Sprout Social, one of my favorite tools out there. Not promotion, just I think it's a cool tool. TikTok metrics you need to track, and I want to run this by you since we are both very active on TikTok. Go follow Mitch at Beerpreneur and myself at The Wizard Marketing. But basically, they compiled the TikTok metrics that we need to be tracking, and so this is it. They think that engagement rate is still tippity tip top. What do you think?
Totally agree. I mean, the only thing we look at when mine, like, yeah, I mean, how far they're watching the video, but like, I really, at least for me, and I'm sure you're probably in the same boat, like, I'm looking at likes, comments, shares, and saves. That tells me how well it's performing.
Oh, absolutely. When the share count is high enough, that's a pretty good indicator that the video is going to do quite well.
Yep.
In general. Another thing that, also they talk about views here and follower growth, click-through rate, shares. I don't know how I feel about hashtags and things like that, but I will say the one thing that is really cool is when they add the search term that the video pops for at the bottom of the video now. Have you seen that? That's really cool. So if you can kind of, I don't want to say stuff your videos with SEO keywords, but kinda.
I mean, I honestly like try to put it at least in the headline at the beginning and then like the text, the overlay. Obviously, I'm going to say, because like for us and like for me, I'm talking about Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, e-commerce, whatever it is. So like I'm obviously saying those words a lot, so it's in my caption, and then like the actual like verbiage caption, and then I try to put it in like the short description of the video, which realistically that doesn't matter, and then I just use a ton of hashtags. But I've been using the same hashtags now for probably a year and a half. And I just hit the hashtag and they just pop up that I've recently used and I just grab them. So they're all, if it's a Facebook video, they're all Facebook hashtags. If they're all Google, if it's Google, it's all Google hashtags, TikTok. Like I'm sure for you, it's, SEO stuff. So you have it multiple places. And then if all of a sudden you get categorized, it is always interesting to see where it gets categorized or what it gets categorized as. Because sometimes like it'll just like I get some random ones where I'm like, really interesting. Okay.
Now speak for yourself. I'm perfect every time.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, in general, like if you want my process, I'm always looking at initially first 3 hours. I want to see, total view watched, total time watched, and average time watched. Those are pretty indicative. One of the things I've been seeing recently, and again, this is going to date this video to a degree, but like going over 90 seconds, that 90-second to 3-minute sweet spot, it seems to be performing quite well right now. Especially if you can get your average view time up over like 18 seconds seems to be the number for me. And then your total watch, if you can get that over 8%, holy schmoly, that video is going to do all right.
Isn't that crazy? At 8%, like 8%. That's just, it seems so low, but it's just the way the platform works. So I do this sneaky thing because I have a bunch of backup accounts / like my agency accounts, some other random things I thought about doing and started up accounts. So I have like 5 or 4 other extra accounts, in my phone on TikTok. And so I'll post a video, like it and share it and save it as myself originally, and then give it like 5-10 minutes to make sure it actually gets through the review process. Because sometimes I've noticed that like I'll get stuck in like review and I'm like, why? I didn't swear in this one. It's kind of weird. Didn't say anything crazy. But the ones I swear in like go through like cake. It's awesome. But then I'll go through all my other accounts, let it run all the way through, like, save, do it for those 4, and I don't know if it really helps, but, like, I think it kinda maybe there's something, like, psychological to other people that they're like they see it, and it's, those first couple 100 views, like, "Oh, there's, likes and saves already, this must be important," so then they watch a little bit more of it. I don't know if it really helps, but it might be unethical. I don't know. I got extra accounts. I like my stuff.
Well, I would say that's an interesting point. If you're mostly a video consumer, if there's a creator you want to support and you want to, see do well, even if you're not really interested in the content of the video, let it run to the end. Let it run to the end.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing that's very interesting. And if you haven't been in the analytics, you wouldn't know this. It actually tracks when you get the like, when you get the
Mhm.
share in the video. So if I get the like and in the first 5 seconds, I think it's worth less.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, yeah. I usually like with yours, well, there's a handful of creators, but like yours, your stuff pops up all the time for me, and um always make sure to like it at least, and then, like leave a nasty comment. Totally kidding. But even your lives, like even on lives, like those, like people don't understand like the likes and then gifts amplified even more. But like, I mean, like last night, I popped into your live for all of like 5 minutes, I think, because I was like in between doing something, jumped in, slammed a bunch of gifts, a bunch of likes, and then was like, okay, gotta go.
Yeah, absolutely, and it definitely spiked up. I hit like 75, 80 viewers at one point
Nice.
right after that, so it definitely does something. As the consumer, you have a lot of power to help these creators.
Huge.
Um, so, let the videos play out, and we're gonna talk about Unskippable here in a second and how dangerous that is. But you have power. You have power as the consumer. Your currency is your time. Your currency is that ability to hit the like, hit the share, hit the favorite, those things. So if there's somebody you like supporting, support them by doing that. It really matters.
Oh,
So
and just a little tip for all the trolls out there. You're actually helping us. So what you don't like, what the trolls don't realize is like your comment actually helps the algorithm because they can't distinguish between a good comment or a bad comment. And then I'm going to comment back to you. So now that's two comments. So it actually helps it get pushed out. So that's where a lot of people like, when we post controversial content or like some of my best performing ones were like very contradicting statements, how to legally and ethically steal your competitors traffic.
mhm.
Legally, ethically steal. What?
Yeah. Well, I saw a great video. I don't have it pulled up today to share, but the giveaway in that from the creator was don't ask for someone to comment. Say comment if you disagree. And I
Oh,
was like,
what's his
"Oh,
name? Yeah.
that's so good."
I saw that one too, and I was like, "That's brilliant." Because people will, yeah, 100%. Just like reviews on businesses, people are more likely to leave you a negative review than they are a positive review. So yeah, encouraging the negative comments. I saw that one too, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so smart." Um, oh, what's his name? Anyways, you can continue on, but
Yeah,
I'm trying to
absolutely. Go
remember.
go look up the video, you'll find it. All right,
Yeah.
next one here. We talked about this last week, couple weeks actually running, how much I love collaborations. GIF, the peanut butter, not GIF, the video image. It's GIF with a hard G. Sorry.
A hard yeah. I love it. That's great.
But Jif the peanut butter does a crossover with the show Succession.
Oh,
And I
that's a
thought that
popular
was,
show.
yeah, very, very popular show. In fact, I think one or two of their episodes are rated in like the top 100 episodes of anything ever.
Wow.
So I haven't watched it yet myself. I've heard good things, but they did a whole ad around Succession and that kind of crossover with it. So um, keep on keeping on when it comes to it. But I love these collaborations. I love these crossovers.
Yeah, well, it's like there were some brands that did that with, like, the Schitt's Creek cast, when Schitt's Creek was really popular.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
I'd love to see a Mr. Clean crossover with Drax from the Marvel universe.
Dude, that'd be dope. Would they
Marvel,
be
call me.
fighting or, like,
Disney,
just,
call
like,
me.
is yeah, yeah, seriously, like, call him, but kinda wanna, like, in my head, I'm already hashing out, like, how would that work, but that would be dope, like, because Mr. Clean's jacked, right? I mean, yeah, you don't mess with that guy.
Oh man, super funny. Actually, just a whole series of like Drax replaces the Flex Seal guy. I
Oh
just
my
saw this alien in half, right?
That'd be great. Oh, no.
Oh my goodness. In more specific news, if you're in search engines or you have a website, this is going to be super important to you. After July 5th, if your website doesn't load on mobile, guess what? You just got de-indexed. You will not show up in Google search. How about that?
If in 2024, if you have a website that doesn't load on mobile, what are you doing?
I look, I don't want to throw stones. I don't want to throw them.
I'll
I
throw
have
them.
clients with websites that still don't load well on mobile.
What? Like, it
Yeah.
seems so easy,
Well,
but
the
yeah.
issue for a lot of those, in most cases, they're on some sort of platform that they've had for 10 plus years, and
Oh,
that platform has done an extremely poor job of updating themselves. Generally speaking, it's not like a WordPress site or a Shopify site that just doesn't load on mobile. It's something weird.
right.
Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I had a client like that, that was the same thing. They were in the automotive space, and I'm like, they were on such an old grandfathered plan that, like, the support for this platform wouldn't even do it, like, help, because 'cause they're like, "Yeah, this doesn't even actually exist anymore." Like, so, I mean, it makes yeah, that makes sense, but then at the same time, like, de-indexing, I mean, like, what is it, like, 80+% of traffic on the internet is mobile now, so, like, yeah, I would say it's a user experience thing, but at the same time, I feel like Google's trashing their user experience in there right now, so, um, I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Uh, Update, please. It makes my life a lot easier when your stuff's modern because it's a lot easier to optimize from an SEO perspective. So be 75-80% of traffic to sites right now is mobile. And we
Mhm.
optimize for desktop because desktop gets to look all pretty and it's a nice user experience. But guess what? It's the almighty phone. I'll tell you what
Yeah,
not to optimize for: tablet. Ain't nobody
that
using that.
no. 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 Yeah, you should always, like, I mean, if anybody's got a website, like, at least for when we build websites, and I'm sure you're the same way, you're really building for mobile first. Like, desktop is great, but, like, I'm gonna optimize for, like, mobile first because I know 80% of traffic is gonna be mobile no matter what kind of business you have, then make desktop look pretty.
Absolutely. As a person who's designed and built many, many websites, I'm a little bit of an old stickler. I hate the hamburger menu on desktop,
Oh, yeah, desktop, why?
but it's getting a lot more popular because we're all designing mobile first. So it's like if 15% to 25% of my traffic is on desktop, they can suffer the mobile design on desktop because it's not awful.
Well, and I guess that also makes sense too because with that so much, like, we're all trained now to know what the 3 lines mean.
Yep.
It's a menu.
Yep.
Click it. Like,
Click it
yeah.
and it's a menu. Absolutely. Um, Make sure though that the menu is loading on the page when it loads, because then you'll miss out on a lot of SEO value. So that's a weird thing to comment on, but I've seen it. So
Wow.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We get to see some wild stuff that you think is just, like, so obvious.
Your menu and the pages you put in your menu are incredibly important from an SEO perspective. Incredibly important. If you have a page and you're like, this is a super valuable page, but you bury it in your site, oh, that's just gonna kill you because you're like, why is this page not doing better? Because it's not in your navigation. It's not in your
Mm,
navigation. So super important there. But yeah, that's what I got to say. And I'm sticking
I
to
like
it.
it. I
Sticking
like
to
it.
it. Okay, let's watch some TikTok videos and then I want to talk about this disaster that is Instagram's new move. So,
Yeah.
um first video here, marketing with Sam. She's talking about probably the biggest bumbling of a brand I've seen in a long time. Chipotle, Chipotle, whatever you want to call it. She's talking about that. So I'll let the video do its own talking here.
I cannot lie, this whole Chipotle thing has me laughing. Okay, last month, Keith Lee, who is a popular TikToker, went to Chipotle, not sponsored. He went to Chipotle, did not have a good time. He called out the lack of meat in his bowl and like the sizing and everything. It just wasn't a good review. And as a result, people are canceling Chipotle. To be fair, this creator, Ryan, has been trying to cancel Chipotle for like a year now because of their portion sizes. But with Keith Lee, it's like really taken off. So another creator, Drew, has been posting about how portion sizes are really small. And and he posts about how workers at Chipotle have been told to fill up the bowls to the max whenever they see a phone in the store. And this is just what cracks me up about social media is this stuff spreads like wildfire. Someone even commented on this post saying that they're going to bring a ring light to Chipotle. So Chipotle is just struggling right now. Except they just posted this on their TikTok account of people waving their phones at Chipotle. And the caption was like, I'm working late because I'm Chipotle, or something like a Sabrina Carpenter reference. Like, just so good. People are even saying, like, oh, the marketing team is cooking right now. And I think this comment's my favorite. For once, the marketing team doesn't completely ignore TikTok audiences. I got to hand it to Chipotle. This is well done.
I'll be right back. Going to Chipotle.
Don't forget your phone. Bring
Yeah.
two.
I'll bring my ring light with me too.
That's amazing. So yeah, I just it's really rough to see. I mean, I grew up in the Chipotle era, if you will. In fact, I saw another video where somebody had an old video from their phone of them getting a burrito and jokingly holding it up to their head about how large it is. So it's not even a joke or a meme at this point. It's reality.
Mm-hmm. That is too funny. If you have a phone, fill the bowl up with meat. But like, dude, it's just the power of social media and technology now. Like back when we grew up in the 90s and 80s, like that, there's no way. I mean, I'm an 80s baby. You're an 80s, you're a late 80s baby. But like growing up in the 90s, like none of that would have happened. Like big deal. But that's so it's just crazy to me. And I love it. That then they like played into it. Like, hey, yeah, everybody's got their phone out.
Chipotle, learn, okay? This video here is from Hey Tony, Matt Diamante. He's a fantastic SEO creator on TikTok. Highly recommend a follow to him. But
Hey, Tony.
talking about some clever SEO tricks using Reddit. We'll talk about it afterwards. Let's play the video.
If you want to do like sneaky SEO stuff, you can make a Reddit post and you could say like, who's the best wedding photographer in Hamilton? All of you guys probably get on there and be like, oh, I like my friend over here. I like this person or this person. You get your clients to comment on it. And then all of a sudden it's this like big long thread on Reddit. And then a couple weeks later, once it all dies down, you do like an edit of your actual post. Thanks everybody. And then put the link to your website. It's like a sneaky way to do it. He's got his phone out. He's on it.
Reddit,
What do you think?
Reddit. Well, if you didn't know this, here's some extra context. Both Google and OpenAI, the company that does ChatGPT, have made individual separate deals to use Reddit data, specifically Reddit data to train their models.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean that could potentially pop up in the AI generative search experience?
Very much so. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know everything about how the generative AI works. We do know a little bit more about Google's model because we know that they're pulling from Knowledge Graph, which is all schema markup and technical implementation. But they've gotten a lot of traffic on those AI overviews around pulling from Reddit posts, putting glue in your pizza and multiple other things. I just saw one the other day that was like, you should poop 10 hours a day because it's positive for your body.
That's a lot of pooping. Oh my goodness. No,
but
thank you.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Is it is it smart on their part because there's a lot of data? Yeah. Is it dumb on their part because the data is a joke to a degree? Yeah, it is. So I don't know how they're going to parse that data or what they're going to do with it, but Reddit is working.
Yeah, and I'm assuming kind of the gist of this is like also because Reddit just pops up in so much of the search now that just outside of the AI stuff, like again, SEO is not my forte, so I'm kind of gonna leave this open ended to you. But yeah, you make this thread, it gets a lot of action, it's got a lot of content to it, and then you slide in yours up at the top. So then when somebody searches, it's going to show up on page one without you having to actually do SEO on your own page or like your own website. It's just another authority, I guess, would be a way to do it. So
yeah,
good to do, bad to do.
I mean, if you don't feel comfortable doing it ethically, don't do it. If you want to use something that's working right now, take advantage of it. Simple
Because
as.
I know his video got a lot of heat as well on that, where people were like, "You're unethical," blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, it's actually not like unethical. It's if anything, it's gray. Like it's not unethical by any means. There's far worse things you can do. It's not black hat like at all.
Right.
People do it all the time. That was an old school tactic for blogs, or way back in the day, get backlinks and like just commenting on a blog, and then like your link was in there, like
Mm-hmm.
boom. Now you had this hopefully a follow link back, but
Yeah. So use it or don't. It's up to you. Seems to be working right now. There you go. Instagram testing video ads that stop you from scrolling. As an ads
dumb.
man, dumb?
Well, so I'm kind of torn because there's two sides of me. There's two sides to my rationale with this. And on one hand, it's going to so from an ads side, yay, but boo at the same time. So I kind of have like two boos to this. Like on one hand, like the ads, like you're going to be forced to watch it. But let's be honest, when you're on YouTube and you're forced to watch a video, you usually just like look, you put your phone down, you do whatever. Like, most people don't watch it. It's like a commercial. Like we get up and do something else. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to take my phone and put it down, let it play, and then not even watch it. And then be like, oh, it's done. Okay, I can scroll. But then on the other hand, it's going to have to, this will force video content to be even better when it comes to ads, because if somebody can just set it down and walk away, now we really have to make our video ads even better. And then the downside on the ad side for me is the in-platform remarketing that I like to do based on video view percentages. This is going to skew that because you're forced to watch it. So I'm going to potentially be remarketing to people who just were forced to like have it play and then set their phone down or walked away or whatever. So like that's kind of the boo. From a consumer standpoint, I don't like it because I'm like, now you're forcing me to watch something. You're stopping my death scroll. It's almost like I made a video about this yesterday and posted it. And a lot of people were like, it's like they intentionally are trying to piss people off and push them over to TikTok. And it's almost like they think TikTok's already going to go away when it hasn't been 100% decided, because it's going to go through the court process between the creator verified thing, which we know a lot of people are going to do. I mean, let's be honest, like people are going to pay to get more amplification and views. Why not? And then now it's like it feels like that monopoly thing. We have nowhere else to go. We think TikTok's going away, so screw it. You guys got to come back, and we're going to do this. And it tells me they're running out of ad space. They're running out of ad space. They have to be running out of ad space if they're forcing us to watch videos.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to look back at history and try to understand if we've seen something like this before, and we have. And you brought up the term commercial, which I think is great, because let's stop calling them video ads, because video ads are optional, in my opinion. But a commercial is an ad placement you can't avoid. So I think we should really, as a community, start calling these commercials to stigmatize them, to be honest. But we have seen this before. Go back to the land of yesteryear when YouTube introduced unskippable ads. And to this day, they still have them. But what did YouTube do with that workflow? They introduced unskippable ads. They let them simmer out there, let people get unbelievably annoyed with them. And then they said, hey, what about YouTube Premium? How would you like that? How would you as a consumer like to never see this stuff ever and be exempt from it? It's only going to cost you a couple bucks a month.
Yeah, and dum-dums like me pay for it.
That's where I see Facebook going, especially with all of the stuff that they've had in the EU with privacy policy and going to a Facebook subscription model to get around that to a degree. I just see Instagram following suit here. This is just phase 1 of this rollout.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, there's California, Montana, and a bunch of other states that are implementing tighter rules around privacy that are making us even jump through more hoops on the Google side. And that's definitely going to affect the Meta platforms. And If that subscription rollout did good in Europe, why not bring it over here? There's 300 something million people over here. Why not?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I just look at this and go, this is step one. They're not even worried about this piece at all. They're just
No.
priming the pump to say, you don't like these? Pay up.
Which people will. We all did it with streaming, paid for no commercials, and then they implemented commercials. And oh, you can pay a little more if you want to not have any commercials like Netflix, Hulu, all of them. Now it's like, oh well, our original, our main plan's $9.99, and you
Mhm.
get commercials. But if you go to $14.99, you'll get limited commercials.
What does that even mean? What
I
does that
don't
even
know.
mean?
Dude, it made me so mad when I paid for Hulu Premium years ago and still had commercials on, and I reached out to support, and they're like, "Yeah, that only means like some commercials." I was like, "What? How? What? I don't want commercials." But
Well,
eh,
okay, let me say something about Hulu though that I really actually love about their commercials. This doesn't happen all the time, but occasionally it will ask you, "What ad do you want to see?" Which I think is
oh,
hilarious. Like, would you rather see this car commercial or this commercial for something that helps you get your ding dong up? Like, what do you want to see, right?
that's true. I have seen those. Yeah, that's true. I see a
So,
lot of the same commercials on Hulu over and over
oh
again.
my
And it's the
gosh.
same Amazon fulfillment one in like some small town. And I'm like, I get it. They have a fulfillment center. Amazon, you're trying to make your image better. Like, I get it. But no, I agree with you. I mean, it definitely looks like it's be step one, but those are all my gripes with it for that's going
Mhm.
to affect things right out of the gate. We're gonna have to pivot and adjust to the changes, and then God knows what it's going to look like with the paid model. Because just like opting out, I think there's going to be people who will say, no, not many people are going to pay for it. And then there are going to be a ton of people that pay for it. And it's going to just decimate ads, which then is going to make everybody have to really focus on their organic content.
Well,
Branding.
here's an interesting one that I think is cool. Have you seen any ads on YouTube Shorts?
No, I hadn't even thought about that. No, yeah, I haven't.
So it's just an
Hmm.
interesting thought. Throwing it out there.
Hmm. Things that make you go,
Things that make you go, what? But yeah, I think this is an overall loss for humanity, to be honest.
Yes.
Can you imagine if you were swiping down through like Twitter or LinkedIn and your screen just froze, not your screen just scroze. That's a really completely different problem. But your screen just freezes on something and you have to stare at it for 8 seconds or what, like, ah, it's the
Like
worst.
I don't even like the fact that TikTok has put ads now at the end of organic videos. Have you seen that where you watch a video all the way through and then you like think it's done and then it boom transitions right into an ad?
What? I have not seen that, but
Yep.
holy schmoly.
Yep. I've even like really long videos. I ran into mid-roll videos on TikTok as well, or mid video. So it was like, oh, interesting. So they're very much turning into like YouTube style ads, pre-roll, post, mid,
We have to
and
have
then
some
now,
grace. We have to have some grace. These platforms are massive. They're collecting more video every day. They have to store that. They have to house
yeah,
it. They have to support it. These things are not cheap to run. They
yeah,
have to make money somewhere. So if you're a consumer, the price you pay is an ad. We have to be cognizant of that. We have to be
right.
cognizant of that just as consumers. Nothing is free. Literally
I was gonna
nothing
say
is
there,
free.
yeah,
And so, like, don't hate because there's ads, because that means you don't have to pay for some kind of premium license, right?
yep,
But by introducing things like what Instagram's doing here, it pushes people that direction, and well, I mean, and then people are going to buy it, just like people keep buying Chipotle.
Chipotle,
Mm-hmm.
no meat.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Cancel us right now. Their guac isn't even good.
No, it's not.
Their guac isn't even good.
No, could be better. Do
Fight
better,
me.
Chipotle.
Fight me.
Everybody DM me. I'll send you his address.
It's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
You got a big gate, right?
Oh, big gate. Big gate. Big guy out front with a
People,
dog. Yeah, it's good.
yeah, people on the roof and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But just come on in. Just come on
Yeah.
in. Don't even
He's
knock.
he's very welcoming. He's
Very
very,
welcoming.
all the people that work his property are very welcoming.
We hand out depends at the door. Okay,
Oh God.
so let's get to our everyone's favorite segment, 7 minutes in heaven. If you've never been here, we're gonna take a website, we're gonna tear it apart, put it back together again. It should be positive. Sometimes it's fun. If you want to get featured on it, go over to our YouTube channel, follow the podcast there so you can see everything that we're talking about. And drop it in the comments that you want to be on 7 minutes in heaven with Jake and Mitch, because who doesn't want that?
It's good
It's a good
times.
time. All right, so do I have a timer somewhere? I do. Let me grab the old Chipotle meat device and I'm just gonna start calling my phone the meat maker.
Oh God.
um
The meat
I'm gonna
maker.
set a timer for 7 minutes. This is Sedona and go. Sedona Soul Adventures, transformational custom designed private retreat intensives for individuals and couples. Wow, I know what you do.
Yep.
That's for dang sure.
Yep.
Also, gorgeous image.
Oh, beautiful. The
Yeah.
scenery. That's I want to go there just from that.
Yeah, I can tell you, this ain't the Midwest.
No.
Not a bit.
Nope. They got the Can You Really Transform? Like they got the nice sub headlines. I mean, it's little sales copy right there. Then the 2 buttons. I like it. It's not just one small button. You know how I am about buttons. And then they have a video right there, and I'm assuming it's kind of like I don't know, a VSL or something that talks about what they do.
Yeah, I want to point out something really subtle here that I think is amazing is that the word transformational is a functionally different size than
Mhm.
the rest of the headline it is a part of.
True.
Really draws your eye to it. And then of course they also have social proof right here at the beginning as well.
Best ofs.
Yeah, so I really like this space. Also, I'm gonna throw it out there. Nice slim header. We don't
Yep.
overemphasize our own logo.
Yes. I love it.
All
Very
right,
well put together.
scrolling down. Oh, here we go. Some more social proof
Ooh,
coming
Trustpilot.
in. Good old
Nice.
Trustpilot. Honestly, if you're gonna trust one rating factor out there on the internet, I feel like Trustpilot's probably the best.
Yeah. Everything. Well, a lot of the other stuff can be manipulated so easily.
Yeah, I really do feel like Trustpilot is a weirdly above some of the other review systems out there. If you're in tech, Clutch.io is also a great one. But yeah, Trustpilot, that's great. All right, let's keep going down. What if? What if you could? What if you could? What if you could?
Dude, this is
Kind of a weird
beautifully.
structure.
Yeah, but it's like beautifully put together, like sales copy is essentially what it is. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
what if you could, live a life of peace, joy, and connection? Who doesn't want that? What if
Mhm.
you could find life and find purpose in your life? Nah, I don't want that. Screw that. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna say no to that? Like, you're just setting them up. It's like, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. It's those many yeses, right?
Now, I feel like the button could be enhanced based off of this copy because right now it says set up a free consultation. It should be you can,
Mm-hmm. Or find out how.
click here,
Right.
you can click here, something like that, where we're kind of calling to that whole thing. Another point about this button, there you can't if you can't see it, you just listen on audio. There's a lot of white and a lot of brown on the page, and the button is brown. It doesn't really pop for me. I'd almost like to see this in some nearly jarring color alternative to what's going on. Maybe like a green.
Like it's just a neon green.
Yeah, because green is good. Green is go, right?
Yep.
So that small comment on that. Otherwise, I really like it. Some nice little animations on the scroll, a couple testimonials, short testimonials, and then we're into the products. Which again, I love the positioning on this page. We don't just jump straight to products, but it is
Mhm.
still here very quickly in the nav. So
Yeah, they give you a little snippet below each one. You can
mhm.
easily click to it. Still uses that beautiful scenery. Like,
Oh
goodness.
my goodness, yeah.
Oh,
More
hey.
social proof with all
Yep.
the articles and places they've been posted. How we do it. Love a good how we do it section.
I love that they have a video. Yeah, so it's like you can read it, maybe click or go read it something, but like I think people will watch the video more so than read.
One thing I would probably A/B test on this section is instead of how we do it, how you can do it.
I like that.
right? Putting the story back in the hands of the reader, not the hands of, the site itself. Who's the hero of your story?
I was just gonna say, yeah, from your TikTok live last night. I remember when I jumped in, that's what we were talking about, like making the consumer or the buyer the hero. I listen to
Exactly.
you. I listen to you sometimes.
Oh my gosh, what an embarrassment. Oh man. That's the person I want to review from. Mitch, I listen to you sometimes. That's going on my website. It's going on my website for sure.
Be right back, making a Google review.
Just a little bit more about the different options in the process, workflow, what it looks like to get in first, next, then. I think that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. It's the process.
It's the process. More stories. You know what I'm going to say about this page when I get here to the footer, which is
Oh no,
ain't no way.
no.
I do want to click into something else though. I'm really intrigued. What the hell is sacred travel?
I think those are their trips abroad. They're like retreats.
But it's mystery, right? It's not like, oh, and another service, another retreat. It's called out in specific as something unique, different, and alluring. I want to click on that more than I want to click on retreats necessarily.
Right.
So looks like they schedule some group trips to some pretty cool places on this planet. There are a couple
Ooh,
cool places on this planet.
they're going to Machu Picchu in like 10 days.
Oh my
Wonder if I can
gosh.
fit in their suitcase.
No. I'm just gonna go with no. You
Ah.
won't make it on Spirit. They're gonna have to check you. Some more comments, questions. Again, I always love a good footer form.
Mm-hmm.
Capture them right there. No extra clicks. And also,
Yeah.
this is super fun. The phone number isn't just call us. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Deborah.
Yeah.
Very
It's personal.
personalized. Yeah.
And it's Deborah's email.
And it's Deborah's email.
Yeah.
A note to take.
Like,
Change your info email to Scott at whatever your website is and see how much better it works.
100%. I mean, it'll work way better. Even if it's a fictional character, like,
Oh, yeah.
Scott or Johnny. Hey, Johnny.
I mean, we do a bunch of cold email, and I have a lot of employees that I've never met or seen before.
Don't call your other personalities employees. They're not employees.
Well, that is the 7 Minutes in Heaven with Sedona Soul Adventures. You can go check them out at sedonasouladventures.com if you want to have your own roast. That's bringing us to the end of this episode, Mitch. Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. A lot of stuff going on. Stuff changing like usual.
Oh yeah, it's always shifting. And that's why you got to follow this podcast on your favorite podcast platform or go over to YouTube and subscribe there so you can see the full video version with
Where can they
both of our
find it on
goofy
YouTube?
beards. They can find it on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Hold My Beard Podcast and it will pop up. So
There you go.
easiest place to go. Mitch, if I want to connect with you, God forbid.
I know, don't do it. If you want to be punished and be tortured, you can find me anywhere on the internet as at Beardpreneur. Beardpreneur, it's like entrepreneur, but with a beard. Yeah.
Very clever.
It
Where'd you come
was.
up with
It
that?
was. I looked in the mirror.
Ah, yeah. I'm surprised. I didn't think you owned any.
Nah, there's one. There's one in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
One. Yeah,
My wife
at a
lets
gas
me use it
station
once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It said for a good time called Jake.
Well, awesome, Mitch. I'm, of course, Jake the Wizard. You can find me everywhere you like to browse at The Wizard Marketing, or you can go to thewizard.marketing to hit me up on my website. Would love to have you there. Again, follow on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. That's all I got today for the podcast.
As the great philosopher Joe Dirte likes to say, everybody keep on keeping on.
Keep on
Life's a
keeping
garden, dig
on. And as I like to say in marketing, totally an original statement, all my own. Just do it.
I've never heard that before. That's so unique.
Right? Isn't that slick? I love
That's
it.
awesome. I love it. Great.
All right, y'all.
You should work for Nike.
That might be a good company to reach out to. They do some sales. They do some sales. I've got some ideas with Drax and 10 hours of pooping I can share with you. So Until next time, we'll catch you later. Best of luck in your marketing, and we'll catch you next week.